Welcome everyone to another video. My name is Haggle, aka Hags, and today I'm standing outside my new property investment.
The time has come. The new flip project. A full tour. Property number 6. Let's get to work.
Let's get straight into it. It's a 2-bedroom, semi-detached property. We will be doing some configuration, so stay tuned for what we'll do close to the end of the video. But for now, let's start off at the front of the property. At the moment, it looks perfectly fine. You've got a lovely gravel driveway. The only thing that really needs changing is this section over here, where we will scrape down, repaint, make it look nice and clean. Not only that, the guttering, it doesn't really look great. They've used the wrong paint clearly, but it doesn't need replacing because it does a job. There's no leaks, thankfully, and structure-wise, everything is good. You do have a side access, of course, which is always ideal, and it is a semi-detached, so you do have more curb appeal. So let's go on inside and let's show you around the property. There are 2 reception rooms, kitchen, 1 bathroom, which is upstairs, does have a separate WC as well, which is always ideal, and then 2 bedrooms. But going on into reception room number 1. Straight away, I'm going to point out the fireplace, because what I tend to do in my projects is completely get rid of them and leave it flush to make it look clean. This time, I think the fireplace looks nice enough where I'm actually keeping this fireplace. Always got rid of it. This one can stay. We have wallpaper all around the property, which is not ideal in the slightest, but we're either going to replaster this room, reskim of course, or we're looking to just repaint over it, use a special coating and make it look nice and clean. The flooring, you can see this is about 30, 40 years old carpet. I mean, this has to go, absolutely. Electric wise, we are perfectly fine. That's always a bonus because that does cost a fair bit. Heating wise, again, we are perfectly fine. As you can see, there's a radiator here. Not only that, there's a radiator in every single room. So really, this room just needs freshening up. The door is just there. Sorry, I forgot to mention for this room. I don't know why it's out, but it is. We will be repainting that white, sticking it back here and making it look nice and fresh. Don't know why there's these cables here. There's no reason why we should have these cables. I think it was for the TV at the time, but they'll probably be able to go. Now, in this lobby area, when you walk in the house, you want everyone to be wowed by the look of it. This does not wow me in the slightest at the moment. So this section, as well as going all the way upstairs, will be replacing the flooring with a nice carpet. Not only that, it will match nicely with the living room. Once we remove all this wallpaper, we will reskim and replaster this room. The curb appeal, as soon as you walk in, you'll be wowed straight away. This section here is too small to really do anything. In other projects, I've turned this into a WC by knocking this out slightly, but this doesn't need it. Thankfully, we also do have a radiator here. Give it a good clean, good paint, and it will look beautiful. Now let's go on into the kitchen, my favorite part. The part I don't really use much, but it does always look nice. Straight away, this door, we'll get it repainted. Solid door, can't go wrong with that. Following in, we have a kitchen which is not too bad. In fact, before I discuss the kitchen, here in this sort of utility / storage area, we have the fuse box. Fuse box, once again, is perfectly fine. So we can leave this room as it is hidden away, and it looks perfectly fine. Usually I rip out these kitchens. In fact, usually I rip out everything. But in this project, we don't need to go to that extent. The flooring. We're going to replace this flooring, make it look nice and modern. The kitchen itself, we are keeping the same layout. Everything looks perfectly fine, except the doors. Inside, I mean, once you get rid of this, it's just white inside. There's nothing else to it. It just looks like a normal standard kitchen. We will replace these doors, which is always nice. We'll get a gloss finish, potentially replacing these door handles. Still debating, they do look quite nice. We do have a boiler here, and thank God we have a boiler here, because these things can cost an arm and a leg, and I really don't want to be replacing these. This section of the room, I'm going to remove these cupboards and actually purchase a new oven, which will end up going here. So the reason why I'm removing all of this is because we are going to knock this wall further out up to, I'd say, pretty much all of this cupboard space. So what will happen is this will all flow really nicely into the dining room. So we will have enough cupboards on this side, and we'll have enough cupboards here, which again, these will be replaced. We'll have the oven here, and probably a really small cupboard here. Don't know why, but why not? It's more space, more storage. Before we go into the dining room, here we have an actual nice utility space. They didn't take the fridge. I sort of expected them to take it. It's not the end of the world. No one else is probably going to take a fridge. They're pretty much useless. This space here is really good. We're going to pretty much just leave this, repaint all the walls, leave these cupboards as they are, and at least the kitchen space can be used for the kitchen, and this space for all the things that you don't want to see, which is always ideal. Again, we will leave this open, but let's go on into the dining room, which will of course be integrated with the kitchen, and it will look absolutely stunning. So the flooring wise, we are going to match it to the kitchen, which is always ideal. We're either going to repaint the walls, repaint these and leave it as is, or we're going to take all this paneling out, take off the wallpaper, replaster everything and make it look fresh again. So thankfully, again, we have a radiator in this room. Again, these things does cost an arm and a leg, I keep mentioning it. Double glazed window, they're somewhat old, they do the job. Not an issue. These curtains are absolutely going, they're not staying. The wall being open from this side, it will give or take up to around here. The reason why I'm not taking this whole wall out is because it is a supporting wall, which is very unfortunate, which would mean having a beam that will go across here, knocking this all out. Yes, it would look a lot better. Kitchen will be compromised a fair bit. It would just flow really nicely from one room to the other. So now making my way upstairs, the bedrooms. Before we go and talk about the bedrooms, especially this one in particular, because at the moment this is the master bedroom, but we might be changing that one. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, all of the staircase, all of the landing here, the flooring will be replaced with a nice, most likely grey finish. I forgot to mention the colour scheme. I'm looking at the grey white again. Do I need to mention it? You already know this. If you think I should go for a different colour scheme, let me know down below. So let's go on this way into the WC. We'll start off here. These old properties usually have a separate WC and a separate sink and bath in another room. In this room, we will be replacing this flooring, repainting all the walls, and we're going to change a little feature in this room. So this toilet here will be taken out. Instead of just putting a new toilet in there, we're going to add a toilet with a sink above it. Yes, we could probably put another sink there, but I think to make it look nice, fresh and modern, we'll get an integrated toilet and sink. Going on into the bath and sink room. I want to call it a bathroom, but it's not because there's no toilet in here. Anyway, we're pretty much ripping this all out. new bath, new tiles completely throughout. In fact, we're going to put tile absolutely everywhere other than the ceiling. I want to try that look for once, and because it's not the biggest bathroom in the world, why not just give it a go? So full tile throughout, new bath. We'll replace this heater as well. Not only that, the flooring will again match this, most likely with the WC over there and the downstairs kitchen area flooring. So everything just matches really nicely. Not only that, this sink will definitely go because, again, this is about 30, 40 years old. Sometimes I like to try and keep these things because it just adds up. If I'm flipping a project, I'm not keeping a sink like that. That's everything. We'll add a ventilation system as well. There isn't one in here currently. Possibly one in the WC actually, now I mention it, but we'll think about it. It's not the end of the world if we don't. Now this is the room that we're pretty much not going to touch. We're just going to repaint these walls. Yes, this is wallpaper once again, but this is perfectly fine to paint over. I can look at it now and see there's no issue. Not only that, yes, these cables will go, don't worry about those. Yes, there's sockets on 1 wall and 2 wall and 3 walls, so again, we don't need to touch that. Radiator, we have that as well. Double glazed window, we have that as well. So the checklist is looking very good for this room. Will we replace this carpet? I think I will keep it as is. I've asked my builder to quote me on pretty much every single room, and we will decide whether I keep this one, replace another one, keep another one. We will see how it all goes. That's the best way of putting it. This feature wall, I quite like this. I think we'll keep this. I'm not sure what this is. We'll just call it a feature and leave it as that. So yes, this is a second bedroom currently. This will end up becoming the master bedroom. You'll see why in a minute. But here we have a lovely bit of storage space. I think we'll just leave it as is. I don't think we'll knock any of this out. You just put your own railing there and it's perfectly fine. Even up here, we have lovely bit of space again. So in this room, it's big enough to just put a double bed. You have your storage that you need in here, cupboard should I say, but there's enough space to call this the master bedroom is really what I'm getting at really. But let's go on now into the second bedroom and I can discuss with you what the plan is. All of these cupboards will have to be ripped out. Yes, they look really nice. I really do like them. It just takes up too much space for what I'm trying to do in this room. So that will all go and this will open up this room nicely. We will not be repainting over this. Why? Because in all the cupboards, you can see they haven't put any wallpaper there. You'll see the wallpaper actually sticking out slightly, then the walls are inside every single, it's in every single cupboard. So it just has to go, skim it, plaster it, repaint it. You get the gist now. We have a radiator here. We have 2 sockets, one actually behind you and one actually in that space there. You believe me, trust me, you'll see it eventually. So now, how am I going to make this space work and turn it to a 3-bedroom house? Me and my builder have discussed that. Again, you'll see that in the next video. But for now, I'll give it a breakdown of exactly what the plan is. So we need to separate this somehow. So where you standing now, where the camera is the second bedroom. Of course, all those cupboards will go. The third bedroom, we will stick a wall roughly around this section here. It will come out all the way. We can move this door slightly. So the door will stay as is. And basically up until where this door ends is where the wall will end. And we will turn the wall in and connect it to this wall here. You're going to wonder, how are you actually going to enter this room? So we are actually going to open up this section here and create a doorway. So not only do you have the space from here all the way till here for a third bedroom, but you actually have the access from here, which is very much ideal, rather than the door being here where we have to then move this door to the second bedroom further out, which makes this room a lot smaller. So now we've done that, the bed will practically start, so the wall is here of course, give or take that large. The bed will be starting off here, and it will, I don't have the exact measurements, but you can kind of guesstimate what I'm trying to get at. So this is the width of the bed, so it will come up to here, and then of course it will come all the way up to give or take around this point, and then of course it will go back around again. So that's big enough for a single bed, perfectly fine. So when you enter this room from here, you still have this much walkway in this room. Yes, this might not even end up being a bedroom for someone, it might be an office space. Third bedroom adds so much value. And then what we're looking to do, remove this door, remove this section here as well, and just open this up nicely. This will be your cupboard space. So really you don't need to add a cupboard, you don't need to add any space to put your clothes. You've got enough space for a bed there, you've got enough space for walking here, and here you can put all your clothes wherever you need. So it's a perfect size for a third bedroom. Not only that, we will be adding a radiator just under here, and yes, before you ask, thankfully there's a window here. Not only that, it does open, which is always a regulation for window, as well as that window opening too. I've done a project like this previously, so I know exactly the best way of going about this, and the reason why I knew straight away how I can turn this into a 3-bedroom. I look at other properties in the area and I see the size of their 3rd bedroom, and I pretty much try and match that. The garden. Sometimes there's a lot I have to do, but thankfully this is a very low maintenance garden. Before we head back to look at the rest of the garden, in this room here, I'll put a cinematic over it, it's not an issue. It's like a storage space for whatever you want. So not only do you have a utility just in this section, we have a storage space here. So you've got a lot of space and potential in this property. You might be able to see just up on the roof, there's actually a window there. And the previous owner turned that into, it's called a storage space. It's very high ceilings and it's a large space. So really they've spent a fair amount of money on it and it looks really good. It's not actually building regs or anything like that because it is only storage space. I can't stress that enough, but it does look very nice and it's a great addition. The garden is just low maintenance. I will probably go and cut it at some point, make it look nice and clean again, just like the rest of the house. Make it look nice and clean. That's basically my motto at this point. But there we have it. Drop a like if you want to see a full series on this property, showing you befores, the process, picking out colours and everything along those lines. But I've been Hagop, aka Hags. Don't forget the name. And I'll catch you in the next video.